Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to look at our cryptocurrency ROI as measured from the depths of despair. I think this is an interesting video because we now have 1 year of data since we've been measuring this move. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So, this is something, if you're new to the channel, we've been tracking since March 13th. The reason why we say March 13th is because that was where we basically hit the depths of despair following the 40% drop on March 12th. Then it bled into the following day on March 13th. So we're measuring it from March 13th of 2020, and now we're exactly 1 year later. So the reason why I really like this chart is because it sort of cuts out the noise. It cuts out whatever narrative is being spun in a given time period. We just say, okay, well, as measured from the bottom, at least the local bottom in March of 2020, how have the various cryptocurrencies performed, and especially the ones we follow? Okay, so the reason why we do this is because we want to make sure we are still betting on racehorses rather than donkeys. So where are we? Like, did we bet on racehorses or did we choose donkeys? Well, primarily the main 5 coins we talk about on the channel are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, ADA, and DOT. Bitcoin for obvious reasons; it's the index of the market. Ethereum is sort of my index for altcoins. Link, I love to have Link because it behaves very differently than Bitcoin. I like to have ADA and Polkadot as hedges against Ethereum. However, when you look at this chart, we also don't have DOT on here. Well, it's because it wasn't really on the market back then, not on the open market. What coin won? Well, it's not even close, right? It wasn't even a close finish at the end. I mean, I was saying a few weeks ago that ADA basically has this one easily, and it does, right? So the light blue line is ADA. You can see that it was in the lead fairly early on over here in the early part of the summer, and then it was overtaken temporarily by VeChain. So VeChain did fairly well, and then you can see Link rose to be the cream of the crop for a while, and then ultimately ADA sort of tucked itself away near the top, but not at the top. It briefly took the lead early or later, before the very end of Q4, and then it had this amazing move going into Q1. And so if you look at this it's a logarithmic scale. So this would be 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x. And now it's sitting basically between 40 to 50x or so, with a top closer to 60x approximately. And again, this is on daily data. Of course, we know it went more than 60x if you measure the exact bottom and the exact top. Like if you were to look at hourly candles or something, or minute candles, then it would actually be higher. But this is based on daily closes, not hourly closes or anything like that. So ADA, Cardano, has been the clear winner. And it's easy. I actually tweeted recently. I was like, okay, I guess we're in that phase where ADA doesn't do anything, where people say, how come ADA doesn't do anything? Look at the chart. It's performed so well over the last year. Not only if you see this, 20, 30, 40, between 40 to 50x, the next highest one that we have on here is VeChain at between 20 to 30x. So ADA basically did, between 40 to 50. The next highest one was VeChain between 20 to 30. So it really outperformed the rest of these coins. Now, of course, there's going to be some coins out there that outperformed ADA, but these are just the main ones we chose to follow over the last year. And when we first started, there were some other coins we were tracking, a couple others, but I ended up taking them off because they were just very bad performers. And I mean, we never really talk about them on the channel other than we had them on the chart. And I just felt like, let's just take them off the chart because there's really no reason to follow them. But when you look at this, you say, okay, well, we followed this for a year. And the main way that at least when I think about having altcoins, I want them to outperform Bitcoin. Because if they're not, then why do you hold them? And you can see the main ones that I do hold: Ethereum, Link, and ADA, and DOT, but DOT's not on here. Ethereum, Link, and ADA. If we go to the next chart, so you can see the yellow one is Bitcoin. So Ethereum has outperformed it, Link has outperformed it, and ADA has outperformed it. And so these are the main coins that I have, and they've all outperformed Bitcoin. So yes, while Bitcoin has the narrative at this given hour over the last year, all three of those coins have in fact outperformed Bitcoin. Now, to be fair to Bitcoin, Bitcoin didn't capitulate quite as hard as a lot of these other coins. So it's somewhat, you're sort of punishing Bitcoin for not dumping as hard as some of these altcoins. But that's just something to keep in mind, and that's also the reason why Bitcoin, I like to keep it the majority of my portfolio, right? Because it won't dump as hard when things go south, but altcoins can dump significantly. And so I think this is why Bitcoin is really necessary for a cryptocurrency portfolio. And you can see early on Bitcoin's ROI was actually near the bottom, and then it sort of just started systematically cutting through a lot of these other cryptocurrencies in terms of their ROI. And until today, there actually is, there is a coin. I guess Atom got cut off because when I made this chart, Atom was still below it. But you can see actually Atom has come back above it recently. So, anyways, the main ones that have outperformed it on this chart are Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the main ones that have outperformed Bitcoin were Ethereum, Link, ADA, XLM, VeChain, and also Atom because of this recent surge that it's had over the last several weeks. So that'll sort of wrap up that discussion on the ROI as measured from the depths of despair. I'm sure we'll probably touch base on this chart in the future. Maybe not as frequently. We sort of covered the year. I'm not sure how useful it will be to always look back at the ROI because it doesn't necessarily help everyone going forward that's newer to the market. So maybe I'll pull this chart up every quarter or something just so we sort of see where things are as we measure them from that capitulation back in March. But we're also going to show other things like the running ROI and that sort of thing because you're always chasing, where is that ROI going to come from? We can't always compare from years ago to say, okay, well, this was a great choice. Yes, it was a great choice back then. What will continue to be a great choice in the future, it would be better to probably run, look at more, say, the running ROI as opposed to just some arbitrary point in time. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 250,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Remember, we also have the altcoin season sale. You can find a link to that in the description below. Make sure you guys check it out. We'll leave it open for a few more days. Thank you guys for tuning in. And by the way, for the altcoin season sale, you get access to the weekly reports and videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the trading view indicators, the Into the Cryptoverse app, the risk dashboard, the premium only live streams, and more. Make sure you guys check it out. At the very least, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.